This is the Riot Podcast. The return of Nikki.
Oh, my goodness.
Welcome
you guys
back.
thought I died. Rehab was a popular one. Mm-hmm. What else was there?
Well,
that I quit.
Everything you're saying is in the podcast.
Is it?
Yeah. So we go over all the possibilities of where Nikki may have ended up.
But it was so nice to hear from so many of you guys who were excited that I'm back.
Yes. So you guys feel free, since, you're time shifting with us. You go right ahead and send Nikki an email, riot@radiou.com, or hit her up on Twitter. You can find links to all of our social media stuff, riot.radiou.com.
I would love to hear from you.
Today in the podcast, we talk a lot about Nikki being back. And then we also talk about coffee cup problems, charities, T-shirts, KFC, the Meg, the Christmas Channel, which we're recording as soon as we're done with this.
That's right. It's a busy day today.
We've got a lot going on. So you know where you can find us.
Hopefully enjoy the podcast, and we will talk with you tomorrow.
Okay, everybody?
Or will we?
All right.
No, I'm just teasing.
Nikki's out.
Peace.
So
this is all I can do.
Triumphant return, one show, done.
Well, you really should just give your all. And
one day.
If you have one day, better to just do it all in one instead of spacing out not as much good stuff.
Good call, Nikki. Good call. I need some toast. We'll be back.
Bye.
Bye.
Cleveland celebrates failure with a parade. We celebrate failure with the worst of the riots.
It is the Riot on RadioU. Nikki will be back.
No!
Oh, it's today!
Oh
Today's the day!
Hello, everybody!
It's Nikki!
Yay!
Everyone was sure that you were dead,
or
fired, rehab, like, whatever.
I know. I was just gone. No one accepted that as being just the answer.
No one would take it. Everyone's like, wait, you mean spending time with your family?
No, I would literally get about like 20 or 30 messages a day, and people would be like, oh my gosh, did you leave? Did you go somewhere? Is something wrong? And they're like just begging me to tell them. I'm like, no, I'm out until I come back. And I was taking a break, and no one was okay with that answer. No one.
Hey, you don't have to tell me.
I know, but
it was like
matter?
I would get these. You know how people, they talk to you publicly and then privately they're like DM, like, hey,
what's the matter?
So what's really going on with Nikki? Like, nothing.
I think the most popular one was that I quit, followed by rehab of some sorts. And it was like, nope, and nope.
Here's how it goes. If someone quits or gets fired, you just quit mentioning their name.
It just goes away.
I mean, it would be people were like, where's Nikki? And I'd be like, who?
Who was that?
What?
We don't remember her.
I don't know anything about that.
So I missed you guys terribly, but I wasn't gone. I was just out for a few weeks.
Yeah, it's weird. I was thinking about it driving back in. I was like, yeah, remember Nikki? You guys worked together for a while.
Is Hudson, did he move in and it was just comfortable?
You know what? I think Hudson, honestly, I feel like he did a good job.
Oh, yay.
I did. I felt like he did a good job. He contributed. He had ideas.
He had a good attitude.
You know what? Despite his on-air demeanor, off-air, he had a pretty good attitude. Like
That's good.
He showed up to do the work.
Good.
So
and put the time in.
Yeah, I felt like he did a good job, and I felt like people were accepting of him.
Well, thank you, Hudson, for being so generous with your time and changing your schedule up, and we appreciate your assistance with that.
The Riot is the radio equivalent of Taco Bell meat. RadioU.
Guys, Nikki just sent me a story.
Oh, it is the Riot.
We're back,
and I'm back.
like all the way back.
Now it's officially started. I've messaged you something.
That's fantastic. Well, remember, you can text and tell Nikki how happy you are to see her, 877-2-RADIO-U.
You can also join us, the RadioU Riot, on our Facebook page, and just honestly, you can message us there, too.
Stacy says, yay, I'm sad you didn't get elected as a political official, but I'm glad you're back.
Was that also one of the rumors of where I went?
I told people a lot of things.
Did you?
Actually, I started out, you had to reassure everybody.
Yeah, like I'm not dead and I have not quit.
And then after a while, I could get a little jokey, but even then you could feel people get a little nervous
They're like,
about
wait,
it.
Then that way they know that you've said the truth somewhere in there, but they couldn't tell which one it was. So you're like, I told you.
Also want to say hi to Randall. He says, where's Hudson?
Aw, I think that's a trolling thing.
So Nikki's back.
Yay. And today's a very important day.
Red alert, guys. Red alert, because it's real. Okay, there's been a lot of little chit chatter about like Christmas and Christmas things and Christmas people and Christmas stuff.
But today,
all jokes aside, today is the day.
So later after this show,
Yep.
we'll be recording the RadioU Christmas Channel today. Wait, let's... Ho, 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 ho. It's a little bit doggish, but it's more like a ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho. Ooh.
From the belly.
Ho, 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 ho.
Very good.
We'll work it out. Like, we have time before the actual channel starts. But, dude, we are working on the Christmas channel today. Next week is Thanksgiving.
Isn't that really weird? I feel like I know Thanksgiving feels extra early.
It is. It's the earliest it can possibly be in the month.
So I feel like we're missing a week of where we're supposed to have something else to do and then Thanksgiving.
I know, but it's not. Like, Thanksgiving is next week, which means that next Wednesday, the RadioU Christmas Channel will become available
now,
to you.
if you don't know what that is, I don't know how that's possible. Maybe you're new. Maybe you're just a new listener. And we'll have a special RadioU Christmas Channel of RadioU Christmas songs that you can access anytime you want. And that will launch, like Obi said, next Wednesday through our Roku channel, our RadioU app, and, of course, through RadioU.com. So prepare to be ready for next Wednesday.
It's so great,
But
guys.
we have to do it today so that it'll be available for you next week.
It doesn't just magically appear, okay? No.
It's not Christmas magic.
We have to make the magic happen.
We do. So that's today. And I was actually thinking yesterday, should we bring, and I know no one wants to do it. No one wants to do it. But should we bring the trees out?
Oh, you know what?
Come on.
I haven't had anybody use we language that actually means me in like 2 weeks. So now we really know Nikki's back.
Because when I say we, I mean, will he bring in the tree for me? I'll bring the small one in.
That'd be awfully big of you.
Because it's so small.
It's awfully big of you to
tiny
bring
tree.
this. Yep.
And then we have a big tree, and I always hold the door for you when you bring it in.
Except when you just put the door jamb in, but it's fine.
No! And then I direct you where to go, and I hung the stockings last year. That is a team effort, Obi, and I don't like that.
I direct you. So now Nikki's back to tell me what to do and suggest what I do.
Are you feeling comfortable with that? I bet you missed that.
Oh, the show is back already. It's so back.
Hudson didn't do that with you?
No.
Well, he didn't step up into the role then.
He didn't, did he? No, he didn't even. I ran the board the whole time, too. I kind of missed that. That was fun.
You want to come over here?
It was nice. I just, you
you
and
sit
also
over
I did a lot of pointing.
Well, you have
I
to
do
point.
that anyway.
Save your strength. You sit over there.
Yeah, save your strength. You're going to have a tree to carry later.
Because we're going to put the tree in the RadioU studio when we record the Christmas channel today.
I'll go get it. We'll go get it.
I help. I do help. Come on. They're going to think that I don't.
Once again, there just wasn't enough material for Best of the Riot. Actually, there wasn't any Best of the Riot at all. None. Zero. Look, it's all bad. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not bad. It's the worst. Radio U. Complain about not having anything to complain about. It's The Riot on Radio U.
It is The Riot. I want to say good morning to Jerome. He just texted 8772 Radio U. He says, Nikki is a great supervisor. Welcome back.
Aw, thank you, Jerome.
And good morning, Andy. He also texted in saying, welcome back, Nikki.
I am back.
So feel free to do the same. Text or call 8772 Radio U.
Well, since everybody else is doing it now, it'd be weird if you didn't.
I mean, come on.
So it is up to you guys.
Just on the outside looking in at this point.
And not texting.
Seriously. So just as one more thing to bring you up to speed, I walked in and Nikki was like, hey, new shirt. I did.
Did you get a new wardrobe?
Kind of, yeah.
Where did it come from? It doesn't look like our normal shirts.
Okay, now I can't remember the name of the actual website, but 80stees.com. You've heard of them?
No.
Like 80S Tees. They're actually the ones where I got my Die Hard Christmas sweatshirt.
Ah.
Mm-hmm. So
just to put some perspective to that.
Right, in case you guys have been, an Obadiah shirt historian.
So these are retro shirts?
Well, they are. They had they run like a clearance website called License to Wear. And so they had a 2-day sale last week, I think it was, and you had to, here's the ridiculous part. If you wanted to buy more than 2 shirts, you had to pay like a $30 fee, but which I don't know.
Don't understand, but that's fine.
But I will tell you
it's
this.
It's a fee-based t-shirt thing.
For $55, I bought 9 shirts. Which,
well, hello.
That.
So wait, from this site, from the 80s Tee, or just from a site that they run also?
This was their clearance site called License to Wear, which it appears that they're still, okay, like it's closed now, and then it'll reopen in like 3 or 4 days. And so
How's the quality compared to our normal T-shirt sites? We only just wear T-shirts.
It is a lot of variation. Some of them they make themselves, and some of them they're just fronting. So like this, in fact, one of my roommates said to me, they were like, wait, are those shirts all the same size? And technically, yes.
But they all look different.
Oh my gosh. Like, for example, this is a Nightwing T-shirt that seems to fit fine. Like, it's not an amazing shirt.
It seems a little thinner, though.
Yeah, there's that. Then I got an Incredibles T-shirt. It could be a Snuggie, meaning that I could like put my arms in it and have it be a blanket.
Well,
it's enormous.
So you're just getting the size change.
Yeah, so I bought 9 2X shirts, and I would say I probably got 6 or 7 that I could actually wear in public, and the rest are jammies.
Because they're too tight or too loose?
They're way too big.
Way too big. You can shrink them.
Yeah, well, we'll see how they do after a wash, but the Incredibles one was by far the biggest of the bunch. But yeah, like, 9 shirts, $55. It's not so bad.
That'll work, guys. They just have to work for a little while.
Well, that's exactly
Nothing
it.
fancy.
And I was trying to explain to somebody. They're like, "Well, you need more T-shirts." I'm like, "You don't understand. Like when people buy clothes for work, that's what T-shirts are for me.
This is workwear.
I just get stupid T-shirts, and I wear those to work every day. And they're like, "What about the winter?" I have hoodies that I wear over them.
You got stupid hoodies.
Stupid hoodies. Stupid hoodies for my stupid shirts.
The one where you forget to wear them out, like if you have a grown-up thing to do, and you're like, "What am I wearing?"
I do sometimes forget that other people wear actual clothes.
Yeah,
but no,
it looks nice.
9 shirts, $55. We'll see if they survive the wash.
At that price, if you get a couple months out of them, that's good enough.
It kind of is. I mean, I couldn't have bought plain undershirts for that much money, so I might as well get the. Less
something
expensive.
with a print on it.
Yeah,
I went
to
the 80s Tee site, and what was that? So, was it Christmas Vacation? It goes, "Why is the carpet all wet, Todd?" And the other shirt says, "I don't know,
Margo."
But I just like that. I can just hear it in my head. It's like, Todd.
Why is the carpet all wet, Todd?
So I see that's the style of this shirt website.
Well, they had a bunch of stuff, and they technically are called 80s tees, but like it wasn't. There was plenty of like movie T-shirts or whatever.
Lots of 90s stuff they're slipping in.
Yeah, there's 90s stuff in there. I even saw some early aughts, so.
The shirt looks good, and I can't wait to see the other 8.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a shirt parade between now and Thanksgiving.
All new stuff.
As we ascend, it's the Riot.
Was it the late nights all night out on the road? Was it the taste of...
The Riot's future? 2 words. Goat Farm. RadioU.
So someone you'd like to sit down and have a conversation with.
Dead or alive.
And I get it. A lot of people are going to be like Hitler or George Washington or I don't know, whatever. Like Cleopatra.
Good ones, by the way.
I don't know. These are just the random.
Is that what came to your mind?
Okay, the problem is
why the Cleopatra one?
Because I kept coming up with fictional characters, and I was trying to think.
You're like, that's not real.
I know I kept going out, and I was like, I started thinking of like, come on, get somebody real, and I was like, ancient Egypt, Cleopatra. That's a movie, but it still counts.
It works. I guess it does.
Look, there's a lot of pressure in here.
It is, and in the world that we live in, sometimes it's hard to remember what's real and what's a fictional character.
I present Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter,
and it all makes sense.
And the Assassin's Creed games, in which, according to them, I've met Cleopatra several times. It's rough. But I want to talk about Justice Hewley. He's 22 years old, and he is now in custody at Pike County Jail in Georgia.
That means county law's involved.
County law done got justice.
As you go to county jail.
So Justice was, like all of us, like Nikki and I, too. I mean, do you have enough money? You got to make some money. And one of the things you want to do is, like Scrooge McDuck would tell you, you work harder, not smarter. Right? No, that's not it. You work smarter, not harder.
There, that sounds better, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's
so you can swim in your money.
That's right. Smarter, not harder. And so Justice decided that, hey, might be time to take advantage of current events as a way to make money. And so he went ahead and set up a GoFundMe page posing as a high school senior who collapsed during a football game. He was raising money for his medical treatment.
Okay, and he didn't think that someone would notice or fact check or look through that?
Now, we don't know how much
Did he
money
make anything?
that he ended up making, but I do know this, that the way people found out, and this is the sad part of the story, is that the high school football player that he was raising money for died. And he apparently didn't know that. And so he's raising money for this guy's recovery. Someone found it and was like, wait a minute, this isn't right. And then,
so he didn't just make up someone's name.
No, he found someone, a real person, in a real news story about this guy collapsing on the field, and took all these photos of him from social media and posted them.
Set up his own thing and was going to keep the money from that.
Right.
Oh, that's even worse.
I know. And there is an element of that's pretty smart, but not ethical.
GoFundMe needs to really make I'm sure they do watch that, but...
Well, and here's how they ended up getting him, is that at first, it's like, well, what do? His credentials were wrong, but in order to get the money, he had to transfer the money to a bank account. And when he made the transfer, that's when they nailed him. So he is now down at county law.
See, at first, you're like, well, to me, I wouldn't think someone would be so mean to do that.
Well,
but then you're like, nope, there's always going to be someone who does something like that.
But see, Nikki, that's why I want to have dinner with him or an interview or something where I just want to talk to him and be like, all right, come on.
Why'd you do this?
Don't give me any of the whatever answers. Real talk. Like, what are you doing? Did you think you'd get caught? Don't you feel like this is it's not just bad, it's really bad. Like robbing a 7-Eleven, bad. Stealing money for medical treatment, way worse.
Yeah.
And granted, maybe that's not really, it just feels worse to me. And again, that'd be a great chance to talk to him about what.
Well, we know where he is.
Heck? Yeah, we do.
And I'm sure there's visiting. We can't eat with him probably, but
probably
we can
not.
visit.
Oh, yeah, you can't sneak food into the jail.
Well, I didn't know, some jails are is it jail? Is it prison? There's variations
there's a difference.
of it.
That's
and
true.
I didn't know if you were in that type of jail where they're let's work with them and you can go in and eat.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Well, I had a friend that went to jail and he was like, yeah, it's more like camp. It's like a big he says like a dormitory, you just
open
whatever,
and...
it's open, whatever. But then prison is like you see on TV.
Yeah.
Where you're in the little room.
Well, we don't want to find out, and we want to be honest anyways.
I don't ever want firsthand experience, and I'm never raising money for nope. No, just RadioU, that's it.
Let's take all of the most mind-numbing things the Riot has ever said and play them again.
It's a stupid idea, but I love it.
It's the Riot on Radio U.
With Hudson gone and, Zach floating around somewhere, the coffee demand is a lot less than it was last week. I'll tell you, there was there were words exchanged. Chris came in mad because the coffee's gone. Why didn't you make more? Hudson's making coffee. It was it was becoming a coffee crisis.
A little bit of tension.
And there was a whole culture that was building up around the pot.
Well, now it's gone.
That's right. Now that you've returned.
I'm not drinking coffee.
We can get back to a more even-keeled. You can
make the coffee in the morning how you like it. No one else needs to share it yet. And if they come in, whatever's left, they're just going to get.
Yeah. And I'm now on certain days I've been going to the gym in the morning and I drink a cup of coffee on the way to the gym, which is great.
Well, it's good. So instead of a breakfast?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. I just get some coffee. And here's the thing I've discovered. And guys, this is my secret shame made public. This is my private terror laid out for display.
What is it?
I love disposable coffee cups.
Do you? And the lids? We got lids now, and it's oh boy, I don't think you could ever go back.
I like them better than tumblers. I've carried tumblers forever, and you know what? I'm ready to chuck the tumblers and just start buying some. I got some cups at home, and this morning I was like, you should put your coffee in a tumbler, and I was like, I like these.
But you're not supposed to use those all the time. You're supposed to help the earth, and that's not helping unless you wash out and reuse your non-reusable tumbler.
I just thought to myself, bro, you're generating waste. That's what you're doing. And by waste, I don't mean your pants. I'm talking about you are every day making a dirty coffee cup when you could just use your tumbler. It's a reusable thing. You clean it out. I've been doing it for years. That'll never go anywhere.
That'll stick around.
Oh, yeah.
Forever. But why don't you, if that's your hidden shame, you just like using those.
I like it.
then you need to be more, vigilant or something in the other side and like pick something else.
That I should.
So like, bring your own silverware, reusable silverware.
I got it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop washing my clothes and taking showers.
Okay.
That way, I'll stop using up the water.
I feel like that impacts everybody else, though.
You feel like that's unfair?
Around. Whereas if you use that cup, it really doesn't affect me.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, the good news is, as Nikki said, this cup's going to be around long after me. So, people talk about...
Put your name on it.
You know what? I'm having kids because I want to contribute to the world after I'm gone. You know what? This is my legacy. 365 coffee cups a year. Right into that landfill.
And you got plenty of tumblers, so I don't know why. I mean, you're onto those.
I just discovered it happened this morning. I was putting coffee in and I was like, man, I love these cups. Then I was like, I am ruining the world.
Does it do anything with the temperature, though? Or because it won't stay as long, will it?
It doesn't stay hot as long, so you just drink more.
So is that deep down what you're really excited about?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. I just know that I like these stupid little cups. And
they're not stupid if you like it, okay?
No, they are, because I'm calling them stupid because I want to build up a feeling of negativity towards them, so I stop using them.
You want me to yell at you every time I see you holding one of the cups?
This is my coffee cup reduction plan. I'm working on it.
We all need to keep an eye on him.
Oh, my
He's
gosh.
hurting the earth.
How does Nikki put up with Obadiah day after day? It's easy. We pay her. Radio U.
I want to say what's up to Valerie in Pennsylvania. She just texted me and said, Obi, if you're on the road to deceiving yourself by trying to make negative feelings towards the coffee cup, maybe you could take it one step further by getting a reusable coffee cup that looks like a disposable coffee cup.
I don't know, Val. I don't think that's why he's using it. It's not for the looks. It's for the feeling.
There is a feeling to it. And I
and
have...
not like a feeling of empowerment. No, it's like a feeling of the actual paper.
When Nikki and I, once upon a time, visited Tooth and Nail, they gave us this wonderful... not tumbler, but it was like a ceramic coffee cup that had like what looks like a disposable lid, but it's rubber or whatever.
It's got a little rubber grip on it.
And I thought it would be like the best thing ever. I don't like it.
Well, what made you remember that one?
Well, because it
looks like it.
I think that this mug that she sent me is probably ceramic with like the top in it. It looks disposable, but like it's not disposable.
You have been enjoying the disposable coffee cups because of the feeling of them.
Do you know what? I think I know what it is. Like I think at the heart of it is this. I hate carrying stuff. I hate carrying stuff. And so it is, you guys don't know what a stretch it is for me every single day to like pack a gym bag and bring my like work bag and bring it with me. I hate it. So at night I go out and put it in my car. So in the morning I don't have to.
Yeah.
And the reason my car is messy, it's not because I'm lazy per se or because I'm messy. It's because when I get done, I don't want to carry anything.
Sure.
So, like, I don't want to carry stuff out of my car. That's why I end up with trash in there. Because I'm trashy? No, I just don't want to be encumbered by having to carry something.
So, with your tumblers that you
I got to carry them back and forth.
You got a ton of them, and sometimes you get mad if they pile up because you got to clean them out. You got to take them home. You got to take them in at home and clean them out there or bring them back in. It's always shuffling back and forth. You just throw that sucker away. No. Actually, I could see that's probably why you don't like it.
It must be is it lazy?
No, it's not laziness. You have
I'm fun and fancy free.
You have other things to focus on, and so why focus on having to take care of a tumbler when you can just throw that cup away?
Why focus on being responsible for the earth when I could just be
line Earth? You got a lot of other responsibilities.
Stacy says maybe you cut the bottom out of a reusable cup and use it as a sleeve on your tumbler. Then you'll still have the paper feel on the exterior.
No, because he still has to wash it out.
These
are all, I know they're trying to help you.
I know, and I appreciate that. I do. And if anybody else wants to help, 877-2-RADIO-U. You can text or call. And, up in a couple of minutes, I feel like it's funny. With Nikki back, I was like, there's an elephant in the room. And I was like, but
that's not me.
Is it Nikki?
Don't say it like that.
Is Nikki the elephant in the room?
Mean.
No, it's not Nikki that's the elephant in the room, but she brought it with her. But it's funny, she hasn't talked about it at all. But you know what? It's time for us to address Nikki's elephant.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Let's not ever say it that way again, though.
What?
Well, I'm not the elephant in the room.
I didn't say you were.
No, but it's not even your tone. Just your word usage. It's pretty bad.
I don't like to be associated with a larger land mammal.
Not that it's not bad.
Not that there's anything wrong with an elephant.
Nothing's wrong. And super great.
Want to know what the Riot is doing right now? Follow them on Instagram and Twitter at riot.radiou.com. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Aww.
Today, Nikki and I are going to record, actually, our entire staff, everybody's in for the RadioU Christmas Channel.
That's a group effort.
Yeah. I'd also like to thank our entire staff. I emailed everybody. I was like, hey, make sure you let me know what it is that you're wanting to talk about before you come in.
Can I guess? Did no one?
Josh.
Oh, Josh was it?
And I ended up rejecting his idea. So that's great.
But at least he tried.
Well, he wanted to. Why are we talking about this on the air? Like, why am I doing this?
Hey, they don't need to know that. They just need to know that coming next Wednesday will be the RadioU Christmas Channel, because next week's Thanksgiving, guys.
It's weird.
So we'll have that launching on our Roku channel, our website, and, of course, through our RadioU app.
Now, you probably think, with hearing us talk about it, that's the elephant in the room. Like, oh, the Christmas Channel, that's the elephant, right? Now, Nikki, what do you think your elephant is?
Does it cut my hair? Did you notice that? Is that not it? Look, it's short hair now. Is that not it?
You guys can't
Didn't
see
even
me
notice,
laughing.
did you? That's not it. What is the elephant in the room then? I have no idea.
I love Nikki. She's like, "Can I cut my hair?" And she starts flipping her hair.
It's
like,
so short now. I cut it all off.
Did you notice that?
No. Okay, so what is it?
Nikki, your hair looks great.
Oh, thank you.
And you know what? You look great.
Okay.
It's wonderful to have you back.
What else is there?
It's wonderful to have you back.
What's the elephant in the room?
What'd you do yesterday?
Oh, I put my Christmas tree up. But that's not in the room.
Yeah, it is. Okay, you didn't bring your tree in with you, but you brought your deceptive nature. You did. You're trying to hide it from all of us.
First off, excuse us, gentlemen. The horn section can go.
Whatever. Like,
here's what happened.
You're silencing the Christmas music, and you've got that is some self-loathing. You got Christmas all over you, but you can't have the music.
No, it's Facebook's fault. I saw on Sunday,
Facebook's fault,
in my memories thing, that last year I put up the Christmas tree on November 10th. Okay. And so yesterday was November 11th, and I looked it up. I was like, wait a minute. Last year, I've waited a whole day extra. And so I wanted to put my Christmas tree up yesterday.
You've got to be kidding.
Why? I've seen other people in the neighborhood have lights up that might be Christmas oriented.
Are they orange lights, Nikki?
No, they're not.
Are you sure they're not left over from Halloween?
They're not.
Are you sure?
They're not. I mean, the coffin's still out in the one people's yard from Halloween. But no, I can totally put them up. And I saw other people on Facebook, so I'm not the first.
I didn't say that you were the first. I'm not saying you're the only.
But it's early.
What are you doing?
Why? I waited a day later than last year.
So you're saying that by the time you die, you'll be all the way to what, like the 1st of December?
I'm a weird person. I take my Christmas tree usually down like the day after Christmas. Like when Christmas is over, it's dead to me. It's done. And so
that's
I like
weird. That's the part that's weird to me.
I like to have my tree up before Christmas, leading up to it as long as possible, but not after.
I'm amazed that you have such a hard cutoff.
I do.
So in fairness, Nikki makes fun of me in January when my tree is still up.
No. When was it?
It was February, but you know,
what
Nikki,
part of February?
The 1st of February. I never made it to Valentine's Day.
That was the end.
It never happened.
So I don't let my tree linger. I just like to enjoy it leading up to it.
Jim says that his tree is up right now.
Yay, Jim! Yay!
Sam says it's too early for a Christmas tree. Tell Nikki.
I can't hear you, Sam.
Nikki.
I can't hear you over my clapping for Jim for his text message.
No, I will. Okay, in fairness, full disclosure, my elephant. My plan is, I think this Sunday, I'm actually going to build my Christmas trees. And yes, that's plural. And then I'm going to be gone for Thanksgiving. And then when I come home, I think I'm going to decorate on like Black Friday or something.
So I think we're pretty close to each other. Because you keep yours longer. So I think our span of like how long the actual tree's up is about the same.
Well, Nikki and I have the week between Thanksgiving, Christmas and New Year's off. And my new thing is I take the tree down before I come back to work. The tree has to come down. Nope.
Wink,
nope.
wink.
No wink. No wink, wink. No wink, wink.
Is that what we're telling them?
Is that what you say? But nobody has to know.
I'll lie for you if you want. We don't
Nobody
have to
has
tell
to know.
people.
No. That's my thing now.
Okay.
I did it last year. I found it helpful.
Well, guess what my thing is?
I already know what your thing is.
Putting the tree up.
It's an elephant.
Stop calling it an elephant.
It's why
the majestic creature that it is.
Rachel says, Nikki, I applaud you for having your tree up. I have my mini tree at work set up. Merry Christmas.
Yay.
Ed says our family tradition is the day after Thanksgiving until New Year's Day.
That's a good one. That's a good time frame.
That works for me.
Guys, whatever we want to do. If you want to put your tree up, go ahead and put your tree up. If you don't, you don't. It's fine.
Well, there we go. We're back to Nikki's great moral teaching. If it makes you feel good, do it.
I bet you guys miss me.
There are a lot of reasons to listen to The Riot every morning. For example, give me a minute. There's got to be at least one. It's The Riot on RadioU.
Nikki, it's your first clap since we've been
Come
back.
on, everybody. Oh, now we're back, right?
And I would just like to say that even though he was reluctant, Hudson did eventually
clap along with you.
Clap along. He
Come
did.
on, Hudson, you got to have a good attitude.
Yeah, you're talking to the wrong guy for that.
Well, that's true. I mean, actually, none of us have really a great attitude. This kind of goes with the radio world.
Okay, so, Nikki, we were talking about Nikki's elephant in the room, which is apparently not really an elephant in the room.
I like Sean's comment.
Sean said that it's actually a bear in the room.
From now on, if there's anything you want to talk about concerning me and you use that phrase again, I want you to say bear in the room.
Let's talk about Nikki's bear in the room.
Not the elephant in the room.
All right. I'm open for that. Now, look, you can always, anytime you hear us talking about something, text or call 877-2-RADIO-U. But, Nikki, going around the horn here, Ryan hit us up on Facebook.
The horn.
And he said, my tree has been up all year.
What do you mean? He doesn't put it down? How do you have closure?
Well, okay, I want you to know, my uncle, when he was single, living wherever the heck he was living, I remember as a kid going to visit him, and I walked into his one room, and he had a tree. It was like a 6-foot tree in the corner, and he put a trash bag over it, keeping in mind that a trash bag does not cover the entire tree.
Oh, no, you can't. It disappears.
So it looked like he had taken a Christmas tree hostage, and he didn't want it to know where he was taking it. So he just put the bag over its head.
Do you think that's what this guy did? Because I know a lot of people who like put a bag over it and take it downstairs away from where everybody would be at and kind of like hide it away because they don't want to take it down. Mm-hmm. But is his actually up? Because I do have that neighbor, and I walk past sometimes. They always have a Christmas tree, like a full Christmas tree, lit in the front window. So it's in their front room.
I think lit might be the key phrase that you're dealing with there.
They seem like normal people.
Brooke hit me up on Twitter. She says, I will not be decorating for Christmas at all whatsoever.
Oh, nothing?
She says it's mostly laziness.
Well, I mean, it's fine.
Samantha says, why wait until mid-November to put up your Christmas tree? She texted, my Halloween decorations come out September 1st. And to cope with my devastation that Halloween is over, I have a seamless transition into Christmas
that is
on
nice.
November 1st.
That is nice because I'm not someone who does Thanksgiving like decorations and stuff, so you might as well go right on into Christmas.
To me, I've been thinking about that. Thanksgiving is something that I like almost as much as Christmas. People have been saying, like, you're not celebrating Thanksgiving. No, man, for me, it's all part of the thing.
Yeah, it all goes together.
Get together with family and friends and eating.
I get confused because they're both orange stuff. You go from Halloween, which is orange decorations, into Thanksgiving, which is just still more orange decorations. So I just go right into Christmas.
Jared says, I'm totally going to cut down a real tree Saturday after Thanksgiving with my own 2 hands.
Well, that'll teach it a lesson. Mm-hmm. And I know if you get a real tree, you have to wait till closer to Christmas. It won't live that long.
It won't last that long. Phil says, my parents-in-law have an angel tree all year.
I don't know.
Put angels on it?
I don't know.
Okay, all right.
It sounds nice.
Boone says no tree but lights up outside, tested to then turn back off, waiting until Black Friday.
I've seen a lot of people who, it was a warm weekend, and so they put them up, but they don't turn them on.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, look, this controversy continues to haunt Nikki like a bear in the room.
No.
Like a bear in the room.
Guys, remember what's my philosophy? Just
if it feels good, do it.
Just
That's
concerning
great.
Christmas lights. I know that is a tangled web we weave, but just with Christmas lights, it's fine.
Nikki's journey is fraught with peril.
This is why I always was in trouble. Always in trouble.
You can't blame me. It's fun.
It's great. It's okay, though, when it comes to decorating your Christmas tree early. It's fine.
Sure. No big deal.
It's the radio equivalent of going to McDonald's and ordering a fish fillet. Hey, that's one of my favorite things from Mickey D's. The worst of the riot on Radio U.
Are you, now that you're back on the regular schedule, are you hungry? Because I'm hungry.
You mean because I haven't been getting up this early.
Yeah.
so I had my breakfast, and
What did you have for breakfast?
I had a couple hard-boiled eggs.
Okay, that's not chicken and waffles.
Doesn't that sound good, though?
Yeah, I think it sounds. I don't normally think it sounds that great,
this
but
does.
right now, I am so in the wheelhouse. I'm
when
ready.
we talk about this, though, what we're listening and thinking about is the advertising KFC, like the pictures that we're seeing there. We went to KFC a couple of weeks ago to try their, what was the sauce that we had? The honey.
It's the new one, the honey Is it hot honey barbecue? That's what it is.
Because it sounds like something in our wheelhouse that we would really, really like. And so we went and had it, and it was disappointing when you placed it up against what it should have been looking like.
Right.
So for this should be amazing, but I don't know.
I'll tell you what, the photo
Looks good.
is amazing. So the idea, oh gosh, it's a sandwich.
Even better. We like waffle sandwiches, don't we?
Okay, get focused here, guys. KFC apparently has been testing fried chicken and waffles, but it's supposed to go nationwide today.
Today's the day.
So you should theoretically be able to go to any KFC and pick up chicken and waffles.
How do you like this phrase? You can have it in both platter and sandwich form.
Oh.
So you can have a platter of chicken and waffles, or you can have the sandwich version.
So here's the deal. It's going to feature extra crispy chicken.
Oh, yes.
And you swap out the buttermilk waffle for a sweet Belgian League-style waffle made with a yeast-raised dough and pearl sugar.
Oh, those are fancy words. To create a normal, like if you have chicken and waffles, that sort of style.
Mm-hmm. And they also say that the entire dish comes with a side of Mrs. Butterworth syrup.
Ooh, I could do that for dinner today.
Prices start at $5.49. That looks real
so
talk
good, but
delicious.
That's way better than what we're actually going to get, especially if you go on the first day. They don't know how to do it.
KFC is going to have a second version of chicken and waffles on the menu. It will be 2 waffles acting as the bread, sandwiching a hot honey sauce chicken breast sandwich.
That right there
looks really good to me.
That could be also good.
It's fine. There's no need to look at it because 1, KFC is not open, and 2, it's not this good.
It's not going to be the same. What I really like is, sometimes you go to different restaurants and you pick up something from here and you're like, oh, I like the fries from there, and you like this. I could really do the chicken and waffles from KFC, but then at IHOP, they have this pecan.
Oh, yeah, your syrup. You love that syrup.
And I don't normally like syrup, but that's some good stuff. I take it. And
take
then
it with you.
Just add it on to that. That could be a really good sandwich.
That sounds good, too.
Or a platter, if I'd rather have a platter.
Yeah, I think, you know what? Give me 3 sandwiches. Okay. I will take the hot honey one. I'll take your Mrs. Butterworth's one. And then I want one so that we can drive over to IHOP and put this pecan on it. And I'll be needing to test each one.
Yes. Okay. So that should be the meal today.
Yes. And then if you could go ahead and prepare the royal bedroom so I might nappeth
now
when it's all over.
Some have said that if you just keep listening to The Riot, you'll learn to love them. Has that really worked for anybody yet? Has anyone tested that? It's The Riot on Radio U.
So what do you guys think? Are you mad Nikki left or are you glad she's back? Which one is it?
That's kind of this. You can, let's not use the word mad.
Mad.
That
Okay.
seems a bit angry.
Yeah.
You could have been sad, but not
Sad Nikki
mad.
left.
Yeah.
Well, think about this. A lot of times when you hear somebody talk about God, you might think to yourself like, hey, I don't need a boss like that. I don't need somebody to yell at me. I don't need whatever. But listen, right now, you know what it's like and how God feels about you. Because when he hears your voice, you feel that he feels the same way that you felt when you heard Nikki this morning. You turned the radio on and you're like, oh, yeah,
Aww.
come on. She's talking to me. I'm so glad she's talking to me.
Yay!
I'm so glad for
too.
Nikki. You know that God loves when you talk to him. God wants to hear from you because God's a pathetic friend that lives in heaven and no one calls. He's just waiting by the phone and no one calls.
No, but he loves you.
No, man, he's got his own thing going on, but boy, he loves to hear from you, and he loves to be where you are. And you know what? If you don't have a relationship with him, it's not just about him being glad to hear from you. It's about him being glad to move in and be a part of your life and be a part of your day-to-day. Just like you're glad to hear from Nikki, he would be thrilled to hear from you today. If you don't have a relationship with Jesus, forget about what you think. He'll be mad. He'll be sad. He'll be glad. See how that works? Look, if you don't have a relationship with him right now, don't wait. Don't whatever. Just say it. Jesus, I want that. I want you to come into my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I want you to move in and be a part of my day-to-day. And man, that's just a place to start. Talk to God, listen to God, start that relationship with him, and whatever you got going on today, that's a good place to start. I mean, what do Nikki and I talk about? Whatever's in front of us. So you know what's in front of you today? Boom. Talk to God about that. That's a great place just to start things off.
Send your complaints regarding that worst of the riot moment to Fire Obadiah at RadioU.com.
Over the weekend, I saw The Meg.
We could have, I could have hit start when you hit start. We could have still watched it together.
We would have never done it.
Well,
it would have never happened because you would have been like, I'm sorry, who's this?
Can't.
Who's
now
calling?
Now that I'm back, I totally can.
Right.
You should have waited.
Yes, I should have waited, but I didn't.
We really like bad shark movies.
Absolutely.
We really, really like it a lot.
Yeah. So I sat down and, my expectations were low, but I weirdly, really wanted to see it. I surprised myself by how much I was like, man, I really want to watch this movie.
You almost went and saw it in theaters.
Yeah, I wanted to. It didn't work out. I almost bought it because, 3 weeks early, you can get it on iTunes or whatever. I was so close to buying it, you don't even know.
Because, again, bad shark movie.
Right. So sat down. That is a weird movie.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, because the tone is all over the place.
I thought it was really made for China.
Absolutely.
It's really targeted towards that.
It feels very much like a Chinese movie that they shot in English. And I'm not sure at times that the script wasn't written in Chinese and then translated poorly into English, because there are just moments and times where you're like, oh, boy.
Well, it's a different market. It has a different feel.
Absolutely it does. And their movies do have, I've been watching Chinese action films. They have a very specific vibe to them that this movie has. And so when you go see it, you're just like, something about this feels off, but I can't quite put my finger on it. And that's because normally when a movie feels like this, it's in Chinese and I'm reading subtitles.
Sure.
And it is a strange thing. Rainn Wilson's character is probably the weirdest part of the whole movie because he is very much like the American guy that Chinese audiences like, but his humor, it is very odd. It's odd. The whole thing is just really, really odd.
Well, now you're selling it.
Yet the production design is fantastic. There's some of it that I just loved, and I had a great time watching it. I'm not saying it's a good movie, but I did enjoy it. Though,
yeah, I feel like there's a but coming.
Well, there is, because a lot of times you're like, oh, I really like bad movies. That's fun. It's not a bad movie where you're laughing at it. It's also not I don't know. It's
not
weird.
A bad movie you'd watch again. Once is enough?
With the right people, I'd watch it again, sure.
Outside of a party thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not going to be at home like, hey, let's watch The Meg. Anybody?
I really think it's bad, if you ever meet Jason Statham, be like, dude, we loved to watch your movie that one time.
Yeah, well,
at the party.
he's cashing that check.
He's fine. He made enough money.
He's cashing that check. So, you know what? If one thing that I thought, you take Jason Statham out of that movie,
yeah,
it suddenly becomes unwatchable. It does. It's unwatchable. There's something about it. Jason Statham was just right for that movie and somehow brings just enough of and the right kind of star power to that thing that you're like, you know what? All right. Okay, sure. Whatever. The other thing I want to say is that the shark is not as big as I thought it was going to be.
Is there only one?
The trailer...
Oh, yeah, the Meg, yeah.
The trailer for the Meg makes it seem like, and the posters make the shark seem a certain size. And in the movie, the shark is big, but it is not as big as I feel like the trailers and the posters make you think it is. So
no buy?
No, I don't think
once
so.
is enough then.
What if it was $5?
Stop it. Come on, have a line, will you?
I do have a line. I did draw a line.
Is it $5?
It's a $5 line.
I think it should be lower.
Or if you find, like, I've bought a couple of movies where they're like $3. I said, yeah, sure. I'd watch it one more time for $3 or $5.
The Meg seems like a movie I'd be proud to wait out for it to go on a streaming service that I already spend money on.
Or you paid 99 cents for the rental.
No, because then I feel pressure. I feel pressure because you only get 30 days. That's not enough.
See, Nikki, I think...
And what if that's not enough?
Given your propensity for Asian entertainment...
Yeah, I love shark movies.
I think like me, you'll sit down and watch this movie and be like, yeah, all right.
All right, well,
I just don't think it's... There are a lot of people it's not for, but I feel completely comfortable recommending this movie to you.
Well, I will see if it's cheap enough. But again, I get really happy when I see something get on a streaming service that I've waited for, and it's like, yes!
I win!
I saved money! Not a lot, mind you, because by that point, it usually is like a 99-cent rental. But
I get where you're coming from, though.
Yay, I waited out.
That's part of how I feel about Black Friday.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think that after all these years of hearing me make fun of the riot, people would have stopped listening by now. Maybe it's one of those can't stop staring at a train wreck situations. It's The Riot on Radio U.
Over the weekend, Nikki and I were talking about how I saw The Meg, which I feel like is a movie
by the way. In case someone's like, what? You're like, no, it's nothing new. It was out earlier.
But I saw that, and it's like, this feels like a movie that was really made in China, that was made for, international, but really for China. And then I see this, and I realize, like, this China thing, we got a China problem, guys, because Venom released in China over the weekend.
Yeah.
It made $111 million. That's
a lot.
So think about this. Here in the U.S., it releases its first weekend, $90 million. We send it to China, $111 million. We're getting another Venom movie, guys. It's done. It's done. It's happening. Just forget about it.
It did way better in the United States than I think a lot of people thought it would. Mm-hmm. So I think it was going to get a second one just based on that. But the fact that it can bring in that much money in China, too, that their blockbuster releases don't bring in still the same amount of money.
Right.
So, like, their opening weekends tend to still be smaller money-wise, but over a long haul, they'll rake in a lot more. But that, for an initial opening, is a lot.
$111 million.
And you still never saw it yet, right?
No.
People keep saying you would like it, but if you base it on his timetable, since it took him this long to see The Meg,
come on,
which was
preach.
out in September,
here we go.
Give him another month or two, and I'm sure he'll see Venom then.
You know what? I just haven't had a good fall at the movies. Like, I just haven't. I don't understand.
Do you know why?
Why?
Well, you were coming off all the Movie Pass summer drama.
It's probably true.
And then you just don't go to the movie theaters much.
Without my Movie Pass, it's really cut into how much
it's not a throwaway movie, but one that maybe you weren't as excited to go see.
It's true.
So and I'm still don't go see it.
I'm still there. Like, I'm still just like, whatever. And even though over the weekend movies came out I wanted to see. First off, and go ahead, scoff, it's fine. I wanted to see The Nutcracker.
You did?
The Nutcracker in the Four Realms.
Is it a real movie or
what?
Is it like, well, it just brought in so little money for Disney.
Nobody wanted to see it.
I'm like, is it a real Disney movie?
It just looks weird.
Well, yeah.
It's one of those things where I'm like, what is that?
Well, you're emotional because it's the holiday season.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. So there's that. That came out, but that came out like 2 weeks ago.
I wanted to see The Grinch, but not
you
yet.
And everybody else.
I think Benedict Cumberbatch is a good choice for that.
Well, Captain Cabbage Patch brought in the big bucks this weekend, $66 million. Like, that was the number one movie. But there was another movie that came out that you and I wanted to see.
Is it Overlord?
Overlord. Nazi zombies. Come on.
It should have been printing money.
I know. They waited too long.
It's not the season. It should have been early October.
That should have been a mid-October, early October release. Why did you put it out in November?
Thanksgiving is when you go see the family movies that
Grinch.
You would have been embarrassed to see other times of the year. But for the Nazi zombie movie, that would have been an end of September, very, very early October showing.
That is a no-brainer.
I know, but
it's a no-brainer.
No
I don't
one
get
asked
it.
us these things. We could tell them. But...
And the thing is, you got to see The Grinch this week because next week is Wreck-It Ralph.
And I can't see something like that in December. So
What, Wreck-It Ralph or The Grinch?
The Overlord.
Yeah, that's,
can't see
come
it.
on.
That's a special month. So I can't, but I'm going to see it when it comes out digitally.
That's a good call. When am I gonna see? It's not gonna happen, is it?
I don't know.
It's not gonna happen. What are you doing later today? Why don't we just you know what? It's been a couple weeks since you've been around. Nobody's even gonna notice you're gone.
They'll be like, oh, did she come back today or was that another day?
We'll just leave.
Okay, well, we have to do the RadioU Christmas Channel first.
All right.
That's why, I came back specifically so we can make sure we've got our Christmas channel, which comes out next Wednesday.
Yeah.
You have a chance to hear that next week, but we got to do our stuff.
We got to do the work today.
We're going to create it today.
All right. Well, fine. But Nazi zombies, Nikki, come on.
And the Grinch, what to do?
Take the day off. That's what you do.
That'd be a weird day.
Ever wonder what Nikki is doing when she isn't rioting? Find her Twitter feed at riot.radiou.com. Obadiah's is there too, but who cares what he's doing?
I'm hungry. I haven't had breakfast yet. I'm ready for something to eat.
Well, let's do something about that.
We should. Let's go to Carl's Jr. and have garlic bread burgers.
Easy there, though. That was what I ate last when I got sick recently.
The Carl's Jr. or the garlic bread?
No, the Carl's Jr. But that was because it was after I ate at Jack in the Box, and Jack in the Box was the bad one.
That's the bad one.
It was a back-to-back. Well, it was not like I ate at both places back to back. But, one evening I had Jack in the Box, and then the next day for lunch I had Carl's Jr., and that was a wicked combination.
And then you sat on the hot beach and baked all that food baked inside you.
I couldn't. I just remember going.
Rumble in the jungle.
I remember saying to myself and to Eric out loud, I said, we either have to leave the beach or I will throw up in the beach.
You should have just gone out to the ocean and thrown up. There's so much whale vomit in the ocean. You would have just blended right in.
People would have heard me.
No, not over the sound of the roaring waves.
No, I know better than that.
You know what? It'd wash up and be like sea foam. No big deal.
Oh, what's this?
No big deal.
They don't know that I'm out there just throwing up.
It's just foam. Don't worry about it.
Carl's Jr. and everything.
Oh my gosh, I've never thought about this. What
if that's...
What happens if you throw up underwater? Can you do that? Would you end up sucking in a bunch of seawater?
Those are one of those life's great mysteries, isn't it? I bet it just comes out like in a bubble. A
vomit bubble?
Yeah, I bet it does.
That's amazing.
Well,
so does then float to the top and it's like there's throw up all floating on top of the water. What happens? What happens?
I don't know. No, it's just terrible.
What?
And then a fish just flops up and dies and then comes up to the surface next to it.
And the fish, it's like, man,
and you blame it.
Carl's Jr., right?
Oh, kills you every time.
That's a rough one.
No,
Careful.
but Carl's Jr. is not as bad, but they have something new, and this actually looks really good.
Mm-hmm. It is a garlic bread thick burger. That sounds delicious.
Dude, I'm totally into not having a bun be a normal bun, but something else. And garlic bread, that's a great idea.
That's a great one.
Because I usually like pretzel buns, but this is even better.
Pretzel buns are fantastic. So is a good brioche. You can get a brioche bun.
Yes. A potato bun?
A potato bun.
Those are good too, but this is Carl's Jr. is going to be doing a garlic-centric menu. And so the garlic bread... hamburger is exactly what it sounds like. Instead of a bun, you have 2 pieces of garlic bread.
It's genius. It's so simple, and yet it might be exactly what you're looking for.
And then they're also going to do cheesy garlic fries. So
Great.
That's your options.
You know what is a good garlic burger is Steak and Shake. They have a garlic something burger. That's a good one.
Is it?
That's
That'll
a good
do?
one. That'll do, pig. That'll do.
Stop saying that. I hate that phrase.
Why?
Because.
Do you know? Okay. Do you
Not
know?
when you're talking about fast food. Don't ever say it.
Okay. I can't remember. Were you gone when I went to Mystery Science Theater?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Do you know? This is amazing. That during that, one of the guys said, "That'll do, pig. That'll do."
Like, yes!
You want to know what's even better? One of our listeners was in the audience and texted me about it. They were like, hey, they said the "that'll do, pig" thing.
Is it from Babe?
I don't even know.
I think it's from that.
I don't even know where I got it.
Well, we just bring it up.
I don't know. whatever. But
So
that'll do.
the fries and the new garlic burger, they are testing in Southern California. So they're going to be deciding if they want to unveil it for other locations.
So I'll have one. Go ahead. Bring it on
Say
over.
it as you're supposed to say it.
That'll do, Big. That'll do.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
through riot.radiou.com.